Good evening and welcome to Freedom Fridays. I am Lady Deborah Wiggins, and it is my honor to welcome you today and to host another segment of Freedom Fridays. Our bishop has called us to a code red, a culture of debt elimination, or a code of a debt eliminators is how he has been saying it. In this season, we are focusing on those things that we can do to get free of debt, becoming successful the way that God has designed for us to do so. So I am excited about this episode. I am with someone that is a friend of the ministry and that has an incredible story to share. He's going to share some points with us that I believe is going to be beneficial to you. So grab yourself something to drink, grab yourself a notepad, and get ready for this interview. So let's get with it. Listen, I am here with Eric Green. Hey, Eric.
Hey. How's
How
it going?
are you?
I am wonderful.
Good.
Great to be here.
It's great to have you. Thank you so much for consenting to be a part of Freedom Fridays.
Of course. Hey, love it.
Yeah. Listen, you have so much to share. So I want to get right into it.
Okay.
Now, most people, like myself, I know you first and foremost as an amazing psalmist. Your voice just, when I say it uplifts and encourages and excites me so much, I love when you are leading praise and worship.
Amen.
And I am sure that people have been exposed to your ministry through song all over the world, because I know that you've traveled quite a bit with your music career. So can you talk a little bit about your music background?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm born and raised from Sanford, Florida. Yeah. So I went to Seminole High School.
Big old Sanford.
Yeah. And I didn't start singing until high school, believe it or not. I was in the band for 2 years, and then I transitioned over to gospel choir.
Okay, wait. You were in the band?
I was in the band.
Okay, what band?
Seminole High School band. I started off with
Doing what?
I started off with saxophone.
Get out of
It
here!
was a little too heavy for my neck. So I went to clarinet.
Oh.
And I did that for 2 years. And then I started feeling out my voice and realizing, hey, I can sing a little bit.
I can sing a little bit.
Because of my music background in clarinet. And so the last 2 years of high school, I was in show choir. I was in gospel choir, tuning up my voice and trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it. And then after graduation high school, went to Florida A&M University.
Ooh,
And
you're a rattler.
yeah, good old rattler. Once I did that, getting into the FAMU gospel choir, that was the beginning of it all.
Okay.
From crafting my ministry, crafting my voice, finding out who Eric really was in regards to his tone and everything. And it kind of jetted off from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've traveled quite a bit with some major artists singing, right?
Yeah, I have. Once I graduated from FAMU, I moved back home. And I met a young lady, her name was Madeline Berry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember Madeline.
Yes. She is a phenomenal artist, gospel singer, and she introduced me to Martha Menenzi.
Okay.
And that's how I got in contact with her. And it was one evening I did a concert with Martha. She needed an extra background singer.
You was an extra.
I was an extra.
Ooh, they
not-
better not let you
Right.
be an extra. Whoever was in that spot just lost their place.
Yeah. Not knowing 4 years later I would be with her, touring the world, going to Africa, touring the United States, ministering with her and with Madeline Berry and so many other anointed individuals, just spreading the gospel. Yeah.
Eric, I remember I was teaching new member orientation. And I remember you in new member orientation, and you were just so laid back and so subdued. And I kept hearing you when you were talking. And I finally got to the part where we talked about ministries that people were going to be a part of. And I turned to you and I said, "So you sing?" And you looked at me and did exactly that.
Yes.
You laughed.
Yeah.
There's no hiding that gifting. There's no hiding that anointing that God has given to you for music. And He's allowed you to be able to travel all over the world with your music.
Yes.
Now, that's just one part of Eric. There's several parts, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I remember coming to church one Sunday, and you came over and you said, I have something for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you have something for me? And you was like, yeah, I have a gift for you. And you brought me a box that had the most amazing piece of jewelry in it that I had ever seen. Like, that was supposed to be costume jewelry, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the most amazing. And I was like, where did you get this? And you told me that you made it.
Yes, yes.
So that's another part of you. And it's what, Eric Green Collection?
Eric Green Collection.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
And that started off with just an idea. In Tallahassee in college, I was hungry for money. I wanted something that I want to make money because I knew in the future I wanted it to work for me instead of me working hard for it.
Uh-huh.
And so I found out Tallahassee had a downtown farmers market. And
Wow.
with that market, you could spend $25, $50 for one day. And you set up your own booth, your own table, and you're there from 8 in the morning to like 2 in the afternoon. And you can sell your craft.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, Lady D, I sold pieces of jewelry made out of fishing wire
Wow.
and Swarovski crystal. Very simple, clean, nothing too busy. But when the women saw it, they saw it as wedding jewelry they could use. They saw it as so many other things that I never thought that it would happen. And before you knew it, it was selling like crazy. And I do have to tell you this. There was one Saturday where someone was there interviewing me, and I never knew what it was about. And about a month later, someone called me and said, "Hey, you know you're in the New York Times, right?"
What?
Exactly.
Wait, you
That's
were
what
a
I said.
student at FAMU.
I was a student at FAMU.
And you were being interviewed and you had no idea. You probably thought it was just some little...
Exactly. They were in Tallahassee doing a article about the market.
Wow.
And I was one of the artists that they interviewed. And from that one article, that one sentence, they mentioned Eric Green Collection. That's when my business just shot off.
Just shot off.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, we have the most... and now, let me back up, because I have a whole collection of my own of Eric Green jewelry, right? That I have purchased and that you gifted to
Yes.
me. And let me just say, when I wear it, it just knocks people out because they're one-of-a-kind originals.
Yes.
And you're not going to find them anyplace else. So we have this most amazing piece here that I want to show to our viewers. This is handmade, handcrafted by Eric. Now, Eric, there's a special story that goes along with this piece of jewelry,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah, a few years ago, I was a vendor for Essence Festival in Louisiana, New Orleans. And there was a stylist by the name of Troy Clinton. He saw my materials and he asked me for a couple pieces. He never told me who it was for or what it was for. But I knew he was a great stylist, and so I gave him about 5 or 6 pieces. And he called me about a couple months later, and he gave me a magazine called Sheen Magazine. And I realized the Monique, the award-winning, the comedian wore it herself in the magazine.
Wow.
And when I saw that, I thought a little Eric from Sanford, has finally did something, for himself. And really, I could see it plain as day. And I just had to thank God for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, amazing psalmist, traveling all over the world, singing with major artists, own jewelry collection, started out in the farmer's market at FAMU University. Y'all better hear that. Listen, you
It's
got
possible.
something you need to be doing, right? Make a little change. It could turn into something major. And so those are 2 major components. But there's a third area because you have another business side that many may not be aware of. I know that you have been a major player in your family business, which has launched you off into some other areas. So if you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. As a child, I grew up with both of my parents, Emery Green and Gladys Green. And my father started getting his hands dirty in the area of real estate, foreclosures, developing communities, building duplexes and homes. And he started when he was young. And ever since middle school, high school, I worked in the family business, cleaning up floors, cleaning apartments, anything you can think of as a landlord. I did that for years. And so growing up, that mentality of entrepreneurship was in my mind, constantly, all the time. And so when I graduated from FAMU with my graduate degree, I decided to move back home, take over the family business. Yeah. And so I was doing the accounting. I was the accountant. I was the landlord. Anything you can think of, I did it. Yeah. And it's been about 13 years now.
Wow.
And I just thank God for my father and his capability of really just instilling that into me, of that entrepreneurial spirit. I will say, it has not been easy.
I know.
There has been moments where my father we got into it, some chaos, but it comes with the process. And I literally had to grow up quickly and realize it's only for your good. Have patience. And just know that in the end.
Oh, you teaching already. You teaching already.
Say
it was all for your good.
It was all for your good.
Yeah. Nothing is by happenstance, as they say. Everything happens, and it happens for a reason. And it happens in the right timing as well, right?
It does.
Yeah. So being a major part of the family business gave you a thirst and a hunger and an excitement for real estate. And so during COVID, come on, talk about it, while everybody else was laid back, chilling and enjoying themselves, what was Eric doing?
Well, hey, during COVID, I had so much free time. I wanted to take advantage of that free time.
Okay, we could put a plug right there. We haven't even gotten to the points yet, but that's a major one. During COVID, you didn't just lay back and read. You took advantage of the free time. And what did you do during that free time?
I literally, at 40 years old, I literally put myself back in school. Went to real estate school and got my real estate license. Yeah. Finally, and the crazy part is, I tried it before. I tried it 3 years ago. Failed the test.
What?
And
you would think after 13 years of working in housing or in real estate that would have been so easy, right? Yeah. But here you are at 40 years old, going back to school and successfully obtaining your real estate license.
After the third time, I finally passed it.
Wow.
And I tell you, all I could do was just throw my hands up.
Right.
Say, I don't know how it happened.
Right. Only by the grace of God.
Only. But, that started another career path for me. And it's been working out so far.
Wow. Yeah. So we're talking about 3 different areas of business that you currently. Is there one that I don't know about? Did I miss one?
No, that's about it. We got
them all for now. Yeah. Listen, the word says that we should have 7 or maybe even 8 streams of income. And right now, we're talking to a man that has 3 businesses under his belt. Yeah, that's huge, Eric. That's huge. And so we're believing that in all of these areas, you're going to be super successful.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. So let's shift to that part of the conversation. You've been making jewelry for years now. You've been traveling, singing, and now you're venturing out into doing your own thing with real estate. Do you have a definition for the word success?
I do. For me, success is always striving for the best.
The last person just said
did they? Oh, wow.
This is amazing stuff.
Yeah. Never giving up on yourself. Keep dreaming. Never stop dreaming. I always keep a journal on the side of my bed because I know when I wake up in the morning and when I go to bed at night, those are the 2 times where my mind is at rest and I'm able to write down my ideas, write down my thoughts. And
Okay, you going too fast for me. Oh Lord, because you just gave me like 4 points all in one area.
Mhm.
Oh, so go back to rewind. Go back to the beginning of what you said.
Yeah.
What was your first? What's the first point?
It's always streaming for success.
Always.
Always going for it no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping that focus on what you want and how you're going to get it.
And how you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that you do on a regular basis is you journal.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Wow.
When I go on trips, when I'm on my bedside, I have a journal there. I have journals from 8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always going back and reading and saying what have I accomplished
Wow.
and what I have not accomplished.
Wow.
And add that to the new journal. Because this mind can play tricks on you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You'll forget that witty idea that you thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later, you'll see it on TV and you'll be like, I thought about that. And, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge journal individual.
Gotta write the
Gotta
vision.
write it down.
Gotta write the vision. And you know what? I love to write things down too. Same kind of thing. I probably have journals from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was going through a box a week or so ago and started coming across. It was like, I can't even go back because it's going to mess me up based on where I am if I start going through some of that. But it is important. The word says we should write the vision and make it plain.
Yes.
And so it's important that we write it down. What is your second point?
One I have is surround yourself with growth-minded individuals. You have to. You have to have a circle around you that encourages you, that pumps you up every single day, that always, if you need something, they're there. It doesn't have to be money.
Right.
It can just be that, hey, what you doing today, that accountability. You have to have that. So you have to surround yourself with a great circle.
Do you give those people that you surround yourself with, do you give them the ability or the authority to be able to tell you the truth?
I do, yes. And I want them to tell me the truth, even though if it hurts. And I have learned something about myself.
Okay.
I'm not a good person with feedback.
Oh.
I may not show it, but in my mind, I'm like, so what you mean? I'm a Pisces, so
Okay.
a little emotional sometimes.
Right.
But you just have to sit back, listen to it.
Right.
That they're coming from a good place, and just do what you need to do.
Yeah. You surround yourself with people that you trust.
Yes.
People that you know have your back, that have your best interest at heart.
Yes.
And then you open the door and allow them to be able to tell you the truth. But I have to admit, Eric, it doesn't always feel good. It feels good when people say, oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So many times I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see pictures online and people are, oh, girl, I'd be like, they are lying to you. These people are not your friends because they are not telling you the truth. Real friends will tell you the truth. Exactly. But you surround yourself with people that not haters, but people that love you and want the best for you and support you.
Exactly.
But you give them the space to be able to tell you the truth. And then you back off and process it however you have to process it.
That is so true.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. What's your third point?
Spend 10% of your day thinking about new ways to make money.
Wow.
10% of your day.
10%.
It's not a lot.
No, it's not.
It's not a lot.
No.
But if you do 10% every day, just imagine what you'll have at the end of the month.
Right.
You'll have so many ideas. You'll have so many small ways of making money that will create phenomenal wealth in the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
10% of your day. So how do you do that? Do you do that first thing in the morning? Well, you just talked about the fact that you do it sometimes first thing in the morning and maybe even the last thing in the evening before you go to bed.
Mine come weird when I'm frustrated. Because when I'm frustrated, I'm like, I got to get out of this. What can I do to make my life easier? I know there's something out there. And I literally, Lady, will find myself searching online new ways of making money.
It's amazing how when we're comfortable and everything is okay, we don't seek different opportunities. those opportunities don't come until we are in a situation where we're frustrated, right?
That's so
where
true.
we're irritated or where something is not going the way we thought it should go.
Yeah.
That's when we open up and start looking for other times and other ways to be able to make that
Right.
income.
Instead of getting frustrated on how I'm gonna pay this bill,
Mm-hmm.
you have to change that around of what can I do
Mhm.
additionally to pay this bill that will work for me.
That's funny you say that, because one of the young men that we're in relationship with that's very successful, conversation we were having about how to pay off your debt.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things he said was the way you pay off the debt is not to focus on the debt.
Mm.
You don't focus on the debt, you focus on ways or to get those additional streams of income
Yes.
so that you can pay off the debt. If you focus on the debt, it's going to just get you depressed. But if you start looking and searching for different things that you can do
Yes.
to be able to generate income, now you start using your energy for something positive
Mhm.
versus allowing yourself to be drawn into a negative situation.
So true.
Because debt can wear you out.
Yes, it can.
It can get you down.
It can take you down all the way.
Yeah, yeah.
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
So do you have
Yeah.
another one?
I do. The ability to move on and forgive.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
The ability to not just move on, not just the ability to move on,
Yeah.
but you had the audacity, Eric Green, to stick on there, to move on and forgive.
Yes. Yes.
So how do you move? You really can't move on
yes.
if you don't forgive,
True.
right?
And I said that in regards to self.
Mm-hmm.
If you start a business, if you start something and it fails,
Mm-hmm.
you must move on and forgive yourself.
Mm.
Like, okay, it did not work. I am not a failure,
Mhm.
but I will get up and try again.
Wow.
Because if you, I've started many businesses. I've started many situations where I just gave up on myself and I beat up myself because it didn't work out the way it should have worked out. I didn't make as much money as I thought I was going to make. And that went on for months and months and months. And before you know it, 2 years have went by and somebody asks you, oh, what happened to your business? Oh, don't tell me. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. That's a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
You're unable to clear your mind and start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with starting all over again. Yeah.
You're not even open to start something new until you let go of what was in the past.
Right.
You have to be able to clear that slate and let it go
Exactly.
and move on in order to be able to start this new thing. It's like God can't even give you a new idea
No.
as long as you could. And it's so important that we learn how to forgive ourselves. I can remember, like a lot of us, I remember running up a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was maxed out. That one was maxed out, so I got another one.
Yes. Yes.
2 was maxed out, so I got a third one. And I'll never forget it. Having a conversation with my husband, and he said, give them to me. That was the worst feeling in the world. Because I didn't want him to pay them off.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do it myself because I didn't want to wear the guilt
Yes.
that was going to come with him taking over something for me.
Mhm.
But I had to be willing to surrender that and be able to say, okay, we're going to get this done. You're going to help me get it done. But it really would have prevented me from being able to move on if I had allowed myself to just wallow in that guilt and in that self-pity and all of those
So
things.
true.
So I need to be able to let it go and move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's in regards to your personal life, your family, not just business or what you're trying to do in the business arena. It's all around. Because if you don't have the ability to forgive in your heart, how is God able to provide those blessings? How is God able to give you a fresh, renewed start on ideas and everything?
It's like the line, the communication line between you and God is stopped up.
Oh yeah,
It's clogged up. So I can't even fully receive what God is trying to say to me or what he's trying to show me because I'm so focused on this anger and this bitterness and this hurt, whether it's with myself or with someone else. I'm so focused on that until I'm not open.
True.
So forgiveness. Ooh, that's a whole lesson. That's a big lesson. But in order to be able to move on, we have to be able to forgive.
Yes.
And a lot of times we'll say, oh, I'm fine. The way you say I'm fine is an indication that you ain't fine.
Right.
You know,
So
it's a real indication that you're not fine.
Exactly.
And you need to do something with yourself so that you're able to move on.
Yes, self-evaluation is so important right now, especially during COVID in this downtime. You have to self-evaluate yourself and realize, and ask yourself, how can I be better during this time?
We've never had a time like this. We've never had a season where we didn't have to. I mean, we don't have it anymore because it's about gone. We done about went back to normal.
Yeah.
But just think, for most people, we had anywhere from 6 to 12 months where we really weren't able to go anywhere and do the normal things that we were accustomed to doing. So it gave us a period of time to really sit down and be able to look at everything, to be able to look at ourselves, to be able to look at our finances, look at our family, and figure out what we need to put on that forgiveness list and what we need to let go of, so that at this season we would be able to move on into those things that God had in store for us and had even shown us.
So true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's good stuff. We could teach a whole lesson on forgiveness, Eric.
We could.
Yeah.
It's a life lesson.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think you have one more.
Last one is keep an open mind. Leaders must be open to new ideas.
Wow.
You have to be open. You can't allow yourself to say, I know everything. No one can tell me anything. I've done this for years and years and years. As of right now, I still go to classes for my jewelry. I still go to...
After making something as beautiful as this.
After making that.
And having women all over the world wearing your jewelry, you still go to a jewelry making class. And why would you do that?
It's, creativity has no limit. It's always building itself. And everything. It's always building itself. And I'm always open to new ideas, of new techniques. How to strand pearls without showing the wire. How to do so many other things. There's so many diamonds and crystals and quartz and so many things out there God is putting on this earth. I need to know what they are. And how to deal with them and how to handle it. So you always have to be in this mindset of educating yourself. You're never too smart. You're never too wise for someone to learn something new, for someone to teach you something. You always have to have that mindset of learning something new.
Listen, almost every individual that has been a part of Freedom Friday has said that you never stop learning. And at this day and age, there's so many ways for you to learn. It doesn't always require you to get up and go to a class or to pay for a class, because online, I mean, I like to garden. That's become my latest thing.
I saw those potatoes.
Oh, you saw the video of me getting those potatoes. Yeah, but listen, a lot of the things that I've learned how to do, I've learned it online.
It's good.
You can go online. It is important that you continue to learn new techniques. Things change. And they change rapidly.
Yes, they do.
And so what you're doing today, or the way you're doing it today, you can wake up and that's old. And now you need to learn a new technique. Or you need to learn how to use a different type of material in order to be able to make the jewelry that is in style, if you will, today. But the idea is we never stop growing. That seems to be a ringing theme in all of the interviews that we've had. You always want to continue to grow, and you want to believe in yourself. That was so important to hear you say that. That's another one that has been a ringing theme in a lot of our interviews. Eric, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
This was amazing. Thank you so much. You have so much knowledge as it relates to business, because you've been involved in so many different areas. So quickly, how can they get this beautiful jewelry, and not this piece, but see your collection?
You can
tell our viewers how they can do that.
You can find it at ericgreencollection.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook with Eric G. Green 1, and you'll see the full collection for men and women.
Oh, we didn't talk about the stuff for the men. We only talked about women's stuff. But listen, Father's Day is coming up. So maybe you want to go to Eric Green Collection 1. Is that Facebook?
Eric Green, yep, that's it. Eric Green Collection on Facebook, or Eric G Green 1 on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can go to his website, as he said. But Father's Day is coming. It's only a few weeks away. So this may be a great opportunity for you to get something special and something different, something that you know that others won't necessarily be wearing, because it's an Eric Green original. There's nothing like it. Let me just tell you, I love my collection, because I have my own collection at home.
Okay.
Eric, thank you so much for sharing today and for being a part of Freedom Fridays.
Yeah.
And we just hope that every area, especially this new area of real estate that you're launching out in, that it's going to be super successful.
Yes.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me here. It was amazing time.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I hope you got all of those points from Eric today. But if you get nothing else, I want you to get this. Don't stop believing in yourself. The ideas that God has given to you, they're real. And you just have to persevere, and you have to learn how to bring them to pass. And secondly, never stop learning. You want to continue all throughout your life. You're never too old. We should always be a student. Continue to learn. Get online. Do some research. Find out what's going on in the industry as it relates to that idea that you have, and begin to bring it to pass so that you can open up another opportunity, another avenue for income, so that you're able to start to paying off your debt so that you can walk in freedom. Hey, you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.